Let's talk about the Pokemon card crash of 2025. Guys, I leave YouTube for 1 week. 1 week vacation. I got some family in town. I'm taking a break from social media. And in 1 week, you guys crashed the whole entire market. How could it be that I am here consistently every other day, every third day, and the one time I leave you guys alone, everything goes to shit? I mean, seriously, the prices of these booster boxes in the 1 week I have left are just abysmal. We have Paldea Evolved, $434. Obsidian Flames, $333. Scarlet and Violet Base, $240. Paradox Rift, $270. Temporal Forces, $280. Destined Rivals, the one that got hit the hardest in this crash, $374. It's over. We are absolutely cooked. I had to tell my wife the other day that we have to sell our house. We have to sell our new Kia Sportage that we just, splurged on. We have to sell the 2008 Toyota RAV4. Yeah, the classic that's in my third car garage. We got to sell it because my business is cooked. The crash has gotten us. I got too greedy. I didn't sell product fast enough. I didn't take gains when the prices were up. I totally understand if she wanted to file for divorce. In all seriousness though, I don't know where the crash took place. I made a YouTube short a couple days ago. I had like a quick moment and I was making fun of Pokemon investors for, everyone during the crash is trying to sell at a loss probably. And everyone when the market is not crashing is trying to buy. So I made that video assuming that there was some kind of crash. I truly didn't do any research on it. Every time on my YouTube thumbnail, people were like, crash, 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 crash. And so I'm assuming something must have taken place. I looked up a couple things on TCG Player. I knew Destined Rivals crashed, but I figured there was something more that I was missing since I was like away from the internet for a couple days. And upon further investigation, that's just not the case. In fact, a lot of these booster boxes ticked up a little bit in the past like 48 hours. So I'm just honestly curious where this crash, like how we even got on the subject. Was it a situation where like one person wrote it in their thumbnail and everyone else just went, oh, yep, must be a thing. I'll make a video, like kind of like I did, I suppose. I don't understand where the data is coming from. From what I've seen from the intelligent YouTubers out there is that we are in a stagnation. And even that I have a little bit of trouble with because like a stagnation from what, 5 days ago? I mean, is it really a stagnation if the price of, booster boxes hasn't changed over the course of 5 days? Like, in my opinion, a stagnation isn't really worth even calling out or observing unless it's weeks, maybe months. I mean, I don't know. I'm just confused, I guess. My original YouTube short still stands. In an event that we do have a crash, here's what's going to happen. The pokey investors who are in it for the long haul, who have diamond hands, what they're going to do, they're immediately going to sell to people like me. And if they do it on like eBay or TCG Player, they're going to lose 13% of their any gains they may have had immediately, which means they'll probably break even if they're lucky. And then as soon as that crash is over and we go into the 5 days of stagnation, and then we go into a bull market again, what they will do is buy all the stuff back that they sold at a 10 to 20% premium and think that, oh yeah, this is good. I'm not going to do that again. That's what's going to happen if we do get some kind of crash. But as of today, I'm just not seeing it. While we're on the subject of Pokemon card investing, I feel like now is as good of time as ever to also ask how I get lumped in with these other Pokemon card investors. It seems like for whatever reason, people are like, oh, he's friends with Nostalgianomics and he's telling people to buy anything right now because it's definitely going to go up. And he's one of those people that's helping pump the market. I don't think I've ever told anyone to buy anything ever. Like, maybe I have, like, maybe at some point in a live, I was like, oh yeah, this would be a good idea. But I've certainly never made a video like encouraging people to buy Destined Rivals now or buy Prismatic now. I think I get lumped into that category because I criticize the opposition and I will triple down on that. And what I mean by criticize the opposition, you girls okay? What I mean by criticize the opposition, it's when The pokey tubers who are kind of in the investment space tell you guys, buying over MSRP is stupid. Everything's going to crash. Prismatic Evolution ETBs will be back down to MSRP next year. When those people simultaneously have Prismatic Evolution ETBs, and I'm not talking about Team Rocket Joey for the record. I've bashed him before, but this is a generalization. There's a lot of folks who claim all this stuff is going to MSRP and they simultaneously have it. So my argument is if you truly thought that, you would sell your shit now while the market is high AF and then buy it back later when it's for sure back at MSRP. That's like the only statement I've ever really made. And somehow I get lumped in with these like pokey investors. I'll make a claim right now. I personally would not buy I would not invest in Pokemon booster boxes at the stage they are now. I just wouldn't do it. The amount of money you guys spend on my site too, if you're buying it to enjoy it, that's great, whatever. But to blindly invest in a modern set that just came out 2 to 3 months ago, thank you for my drywall damage. I don't understand where you guys get the money. Truthfully, like people buy 2, 3, 4 cases of Destined Rivals right now, and they're like what? I don't know, $400 a box. It's like $3,000 a case. I don't know. Like number one, where you guys have the money for that. Number two, where can I get the balls for that investment? Because I agree with the YouTubers who I do give shit to. I agree that Destined Rivals surely will be reprinted enough times between now and 2027 where you probably will get a better deal in the future. And at the very least, you'll probably get the same deal in the future. And in the meantime, you can hold on to your $3,000 that you spent on a case. Like, I feel like there's probably better places to put that money than a case right now that could and probably will get reprinted at least 2 to 5 times in the next 2 years. Now, the older Scarlet Violet sets, yeah, I think those are fair investments. The SVO1 through, I don't know, SVO5, 6 maybe. But yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of these YouTubers that like Destined Rivals, Mega Evolution, Journey Together, they're going to get reprinted, in my opinion. I don't have any data of that. Like the suppliers or the distributors, they have told me nothing. They don't know either, by the way. These distributors don't know. Ironically, they don't know much more than us vendors do. I know that sounds crazy, but they really don't for the most part. And yeah, so I don't know how I keep getting lumped in with these people. I guess I'm friends with them, and so they're like, oh, therefore they believe in the same thing. There are so many comments on YouTube channels. Kira's one of them who she was talking about me in some capacity, and a lot of the comments were like, oh, he's friends with Nostalgianomics. That explains so much. And then one of my commentors on a video I made was like, hey, you really shouldn't associate with this guy. It makes your brand look bad. Guys, I do not work on YouTube 20 plus hours a week. I do not work on my business 80 hours a week to give a shit what you have to say about who I hang out with. Like, I don't agree with everything Alex says. Certainly not. I don't agree with everything. I don't think there's a single YouTuber I agree with everything they say, including the truly wholesome, good YouTubers who are truly there for you. Danny Phantom, for example, I don't agree with everything he has to say. There's some things that I'm like, I'm not seeing that on my side. I don't agree with everything PokeRev has to say. All these people that I'm like friends or acquaintances with on some level, I can be friends with whoever I want. And I will, it actually encourages me more to talk about that on YouTube because the amount of snowflakes out there, it's staggering. It's a blizzard out there. It is Antarctic level blizzards. How many snowflakes there are on who I hang out with. Parasocial relationships are cringe for sure. I appreciate them because they get me a lot of views and subscribers. But the only thing more cringe than a parasocial relationship with somebody is when it's like a parasocial like enemy ship where they're like, oh, I don't think you should hang out with that person. Bro, you don't even know my middle name. Like, I don't know. It's bananas. So while we're just ranting, that's something I wanted to get off my chest. But how did we even get there? Oh, they're the pokey investors. I don't agree with everything these pokey investors say. not at all. But I certainly don't agree with the things the anti Pokemon investors say because they're just as uneducated and quite frankly reckless. And if you guys do everything either of these people say all the time, you're probably going to go broke or you're going to financially struggle for a while until these assets appreciate. And that could be a pretty rough life just depending on how much money you have and how much money you're throwing into it. So if you're wondering, Brian, what things are you investing in? Well, I've got a lot of products from 2 years ago that I tried to sell for way under MSRP. Paradox Rift, Obsidian Flames, Temporal Forces, Silver Tempest was a big one. We had Silver Tempest for $120 for I think a year. We had the other ones at 110 for a long time. I saw my Black Friday ad from last year. We had Paradox Rift at 105 or sorry, Paldea Evolved of all sets. Paldea Evolved for 105. So I kept a lot of that stuff because I was like, well, if no one's willing to pay 105, they're certainly not willing to pay MSRP, which is what everyone pretends they want. So I'm like, I'll just keep them. So I kept them. So I've got those in my investment portfolio. I've bought Silver Tempest from TCG Players since then. Bought Obsidian Flames. I bought some Paldea Evolved. I bought Surging Sparks ETBs. I can't get any of these from my distributors. So if I see a dip on TCG Player, I buy them because I don't have any access otherwise. Like these vendors like me, even stores way bigger than me, they don't have any access to these products. So we buy them from the secondary market, a third party, if I see a really, really good deal. Now you're probably wondering what I think about Prismatic Evolution ETBs. That one's difficult because I think it's silly that it's $140. I really do. But I think 151 ETBs are like $400, and those I'm quite certain will not get a reprint. I don't like to say guaranteed, the G word guaranteed, as Rudy says, but I would be very surprised if 151 ETBs got a reprint. So Prismatic, I mean, it's obviously much, much newer, but I don't know. I'm personally not buying it at 140. If it dips down to 90 in some miraculous, reality, I'll probably buy a bunch of them because again, I don't have any distributor access to Prismatic Evolution ETBs. I'm pretty confident I won't. While I can't say for sure Prismatic ETBs will not reprint, I'm quite a bit more confident that they certainly won't reprint and be given to my distributors and then given to me at a quote unquote fair price. If my distributors get Prismatic ETBs, I imagine they'll probably charge me between 90 and 110. And I will buy them for 90 to 110, by the way. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't really give a lot of investment advice. That one, I'm like, 150, 400. Now, there are YouTubers who are saying that 151 ETBs, along with a bunch of other Scarlet Violet booster boxes, are going to all magically reprint by the gajillions and be available to you fine folks at Black Friday. I personally find that stupid to think. I just don't see the printing capacity magically becoming unlocked. I think it's obvious that Pokemon is trying their best, and they have been. And you can see evidence of them struggling through all of the mistakes that are happening. The gold Charizard from Phantasmal Flames showed up in I think it was a Mega Evolution ETB recently. We had the German booster box art. We have the sets being delayed by 1 to 3 months, little ancillary products. We have a Prismatic Evolution, I think it's a GameStop exclusive EX box, one of those really long ones. And that got delayed for a month or two because the pin inside of it didn't have the little thing on the back where the needle is. So little kids would take the pin out and stab themselves. So there's a lot of little mistakes that are really starting to add up. And it's making Pokemon look like they're struggling just to make ends meet. So this idea that Pokemon's just going to randomly be able to print all this stuff, and I mean, Black Friday is not this long away holiday anymore. For a while, it was like, oh, Black Friday, it'll be better on Black Friday. Black Friday's like a month. So I really don't see a reality that exists where that's going to happen. There's some people who were saying, oh, Pokemon's leaving so much money on the table, they're surely going to reprint all this stuff for Black Friday because it would be stupid of them not to make all the money that they could make. Pokemon makes money from trading cards, absolutely, but they make more money from their brand and their brand image. Yes, right now when booster boxes are coming out the gate at 300, yeah, that's not a good look. That doesn't build a strong brand. I acknowledge that. But neither does tanking the market price of your booster boxes back to like 100, 110, 120. That's just as damaging. And I think stupid theories like that stem from people who don't acknowledge investors as Pokemon customers. Like, people think that just because the investors have this evil capitalistic mindset, this nefarious plot to make money, they think just because these people have that evilness in their brain that Pokemon doesn't see them as a customer. Guys, Pokemon looks at investor bros as customers just as much as collectors and the TCG competitors. They are all giving Pokemon money. They don't really care, in my opinion, about the exact reasoning. They just know that they are customers, and you can't piss off a big chunk of your customer base because the other two chunks of your customer base feel sad. They absolutely want competitors and collectors to have product at a decent price. They do, but they don't want to completely shun the people that are keeping the brand alive. There's a lot of arguments that could be made. It's going to be a hot take, but a true investor, and when I say a true investor, I don't mean someone who's trying to get rich quick, buy product, flip it on eBay the next day. I'm saying an investor like Nostalgianomics, someone who's been doing this for, I think he's been doing it for like 8 or 9 years. Rudy from Alpha Investment, someone that buys stuff and actually holds on to it. Those people are more consistent consumers of Pokemon cards than the average collector or the average player. And I know this because back in the good old days when Paradox Rift, Paldea Evolved, even Evolving Skies was only $120, $100, $80 for a little while, $77 if you had distributor access. Nobody was buying it. The collectors and competitors, they were bad sets. Scarlet and Violet was a bad era. These new starters suck. These new Pokemon are lame. These silver borders are ugly. And the only people buying those products in mass were the investors. Like, that's what's ironic. The only folks buying Paldea Evolved in mass quantities were investors. And if you dig through YouTube far enough back, you would know that. No, I am not saying that the investor bros are better customers to Pokemon. I'm not putting anyone on a pedestal here. What I am saying is it's stupid to not acknowledge their importance with Pokemon. It's just as stupid to say they are better customers as it is to say they should not matter at all. Pokemon is looking at all the factions and they are trying their best to make everyone happy. It is a very tough game. We might as well end this video by talking about what I think about the future of Mega Evolutions and market prices. There was a video I posted several months ago when Mega Evolution was but a glitter in the world of potential. This was like, I don't know, Scarlet and Violet SVO 7 maybe. And I was like, oh, by Mega Evolution, they'll have it figured out. Everything will be good. People like me will order way too many from distribution, and we're going to be like blindsided by how many there actually is, and we'll all panic sell, and the market will return to normal. Now, obviously, that has not quite happened yet. We are on MEO2 pretty soon here. Phantasmal Flames launches in about a month. And that's probably going to be a $300+ box on release, and it'll probably go up to $330, $340 at some point. So we're not quite there yet. But in that video, I don't mention MEO1. I think I made one really bad mistake and I said it once. But in that video and similar ones, I really stressed that it would probably be in the MEO7, MEO8 range if we get that far in the Mega Evolution, saga. So I still stand by that. I still think it's very possible that by Mega Evolution 7, 8, whatever, I think things could very well go back to a $150 booster box or cheaper. I do also think that Scarlet and Violet sets, other than Journey Together Onward, I do think those will be done reprinting, and I think those will go for a very large amount of money, large enough to where I'm keeping most of them. I could see them being $400 or $500 a box by the end of next year, all of them, at least. And some of the more expensive ones, $1,000 a box by the end of next year. we'll see. I think that's all I really wanted to say today. I had to get a long talk out. It's been a little while. It's been a whole week. In YouTube terms, a week might as well be 10 years. So thanks for watching. Buy my stuff at pokeannie.com and have a wonderful day.